friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel for today's Pick a Card Tarot reading, all about a mental health check-in. So just touching base on where you are at in your life right now and what kind of energies you're dealing with, and then giving you advice on how to deal with those energies. So not only do we have the cards to use, but I actually am going to be using this little, I don't even know what you call it, like a little jar of notes that has some little mindfulness techniques on it that we can share. So without further ado, though, we can get started. Just get yourself into a receptive mode, and if you need to know how to do that, make sure you check out my video on how to pick a card, linked down below as always. Otherwise, we can get started by you picking your card. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Your timestamps are down below as always. I'll see you at your time. Hey group 1, let's get started with your Pick a Card Tarot reading, all about where you're at currently and just a mental health check-in. So, placing your cards to get started, we have Child Divine, and then we have Sowilo, I think is how you say that. Oops if I pronounced it wrong. But then we have Queen Cups, Aquarius, and Libra to start us off. So right away, I feel like you guys have been going against the grain for some time now. There's this element of surprise that I think you have in store, but I don't think it really feels like you're in that position. It feels like you're almost in a state of flux just before like that tipping point where things start to come together. So I feel like for you guys, a big message that you're kind of getting right off the bat is that good things are coming, maybe even better than what you expected. And I think once you play more into the reality of that and just kind of see that you're worthy of, I don't know, really going out there and asserting yourself in the position to get what you want, you know, out of situations or out of relationships with people. I'm getting kind of like a networker vibe as well here with Aquarius and Libra. So yeah, I just feel like you guys are really learning how to put yourself in the position to get what you want out of life, and thus, you know, things are starting to happen for you. And, you know, mental health check-in wise, I do feel like I said, you are in a state of flux where everything seems to be an idea right now, and that you don't really know how to put yourself out there, or you didn't know how to, and now you're kind of, I don't know, putting the things together that you need to. You've kind of learned and tied up some lessons that may involve other people that are actually helping you, like I said, network and get what you want out of situations, because you know how to ask for it is another good thing here. Because this energy, as well as the Child Divine, this is a very pure energy that kind of emulates like the Sun or the 5th house or Leo as well. So to me, this is like stepping into a more pure version of yourself. But in the meantime, you know, things have to get a little chaotic and messy in order for you to do that. And I feel like that may be where you're at right now. There's a lot of processing and thinking and maybe brainstorming that you have to do right now. And also just, I think, communication with a sureness, you know, like a confidence is what I'm looking for here. You know, that you're worthy of whatever you're seeking out as well. So there's quite a few dimensions to take here, but like I said, overall, I just feel like you guys really may be underestimating your worth and how much you are really, you know, accumulating from this situation, because I think it's, like I said, just maybe an idea or in that brainstorming phase of like really figuring out how to make it manifest and come into fruition, if that makes sense. So also with the Child Divine here in Libra, Aquarius, you know, this energy to me is very hopeful. It's very optimistic, and I think willing to do the things that are needed to, you know, create the kind of harmony that will help other people, but then, you know, yourself included too. Like, it just helps everybody involved kind of just be better and feel better on multiple different levels. So, you know, if this is the energy you've been in for some time, I feel like this is kind of a turning point for you where there's actually some success for you up ahead, because that's what this overall energy here is with this card. And like I said, I can feel that Leo energy also coming up here too. So I feel like that contrast with that Leo and this Aquarius here does show that you're ready to be kind of, I don't know, exposed for, you know, the things that you have to share, and for the bright ideas also that you may have. You know, you're ready to actually put them into action, and I don't know, just get the ball rolling. Like I said, you're learning how to put yourself out there in a way that is kind of unapologetic, but it's like take it or leave it, you know, take my connection or leave it. And I feel like the more that you're doing that and kind of exercising this quality, the more you're seeing your worth, which is helping you gain more success. So this is really beautiful. Honestly, guys, I really appreciate your energy right now, and just the amount of work that I feel like you've put in to be seen appropriately by other people. So let's pull some more cards for you, though. So we have the Two of Swords in reverse. We have the Star. Interesting. I was feeling that. Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and the Six of Wands, I believe, in reverse. So this to me is kind of what I was saying about how you guys are finally like leveling up and, I don't know, coming together with a cause that feels really good to you. You know, you're not in this confused place anymore that you don't feel like you can really pick. You're picking with discernment and with a real, I don't know, a real leverage on your part, I feel like, for some reason. Like, I feel like you know your worth now, and that's kind of part of your leverage. And while you're integrating that into your psyche and into your reality right now, I just, like I said, feel like things may feel a little weird and like they haven't fully manifested. And like you really haven't made the kind of progress that you want, because we have the Ace of Pentacles here being that kind of opportunity and new offer that you want, not fully manifesting, but really on the brim of it, honestly. And that might also have to do with some kind of recognition or success, because we do have a lot of that like Uranus, Aquarius, 11th house energy, which has a lot to do with like social media, your friends, your community. So if that's kind of where you guys are coming from right now, or Libra, you know, this is more like one-on-one connections. If that's where you're coming from right now, business deals also coming through. Sorry, just kind of getting it all out there. But if there's things that you want to put yourself out there for, I think this is the time, this weird flux is kind of like the adjustment period for you to do that, and for you to kind of put yourself out there in ways that may get you what you want out of life, that may get you the kind of things that you want. Now, going back also to this child divine, I just feel like you guys have really been getting, like I said, clear and just more pure at your essence, that makes you a very attractive person. And not attractive in like a physical sense necessarily, but like attractive as in you will get what you want. And I feel like this Two of Wands here in reverse kind of shows that you already know that, and you're not really like worried about deciding like what to do really necessarily. Like, you know what, like I said, you know what you want and you know that you'll get it, but it's about, you know, how are you going to get it, I feel like. And I feel like there's something about intuitive insights that are coming up right now in this state of flux, that it's kind of just, I don't know, it's like the guiding light out of whatever decision you need to make. Because like I said, it's not like you need to make any real heavy decision. I feel like it's like little things that you need to do to put yourself in the position that you want to be in, so you can get the recognition that you want and you can just be seen appropriately, I feel like. Because you guys really, like, if you value your own worth, you're going to be able to have other people value your worth the same way. I feel like you'll find your people, you'll find your tribe. For whatever reason, this is also speaking to me about finding your tribe, and just, I don't know, for this like is a very soloist, adventurous type energy that you see here in this imagery. So I feel like you guys may be learning to go off on your own and learning to do things in a quirky, weird way. And like I said, put yourself out there in a way that fits your desires, your wants, your needs. And I feel like mentally, physically, that can feel really like confusing and almost restraining in a way. Like, it feels like it should just be like a smooth step up, you know, like you're on the next level and then the next level and the next level, but it's not like that. I feel like, you know, it's more of like this the mountain scene that you see here. You know, you're gonna go up a little bit and then you might go down a little bit and then up a little bit. You know, there's a whole path that you have to take to get to that spot of clarity, and I feel like you are so close to getting there. So don't hold yourself back at all. If anything, like I said, use these insights you're getting. You know, I feel like it's the moments of clarity within all of this confusion you're dealing with that you really need to focus on, because it's showing you so much. And I feel so much that it even exceeds this situation and this circumstance. Like, what you are experiencing right now is going to be beneficial and like a lesson that you should hold on to for many years to come in your life. So I feel like there's a lot to acknowledge within yourself right now, and a lot to just give yourself credit for, so that other people can give you credit too, because you've done so much. But I feel like for whatever reason, if you don't share that, or if you feel a little awkward sharing that with other people, that's where that adjustment comes in, where you need to take a little accountability for how you're stunning yourself in that situation. Because with the shadow attribute here for the child divine, it says an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. You may see yourself in that light as somebody who isn't going to be able to defend themselves against people who don't necessarily agree with what you're doing. But I feel like you're not even really going to run into so much of that issue is what I'm getting. Like, you know, as much as it will feel a little awkward because on a personal level you are adjusting and you are changing and becoming a different person, I feel like, you know, around you, the community, the people that you're around is real, they're going to be accepting. You know, I think they have more facets to them than what you're originally giving them credit for, maybe for some of you. So that's something to consider, because I feel like when you give yourself the power here, you're going to see the success that you've wanted all along. You know, that opportunity is, ooh, I feel like every time I do that, that must be like a sign, because the energy is just like, let's move something. But anyways, the Ace of Pentacles, this opportunity is right here. And like I said, you've got the star. You've got the qualities to get you there. It's just, like I said, putting yourself out there and, I don't know, noticing that you can handle rejection, or you could handle people not, you know, recognizing you right away, because you've spent this long being unrecognized for your true self. You know, I feel like it shouldn't be so much of a conflict to really put yourself out there on this level, which, and you know, take it as you need to, because I feel like different people are going to have different situations, but it's really up to you to decide how you want this to play out for yourself. And a lot of the time, I think that is just deciding who you are within the group and who you want to be, and then just showing up like that. Because, you know, the more you try to overthink about how things are going to go, that's, you get in your own way that way. And like I said, you're not even seeing people for their full complexity, and thus not letting them meet you where you want to be met. So that's something to consider here. But let me pull from our little mindfulness jar some little mental health advice. So this one says, cause and effects exercise. Choose an appropriate amount of time. An hour is good, but longer or shorter depending on your day's work as well. For that time, contemplate cause and effect for everything that you do. Sounds simple, but you will be surprised how many actions you do in an hour. For example, you want to write something. Picking up a pen will cause the ink to flow to the bottom, and then in turn, scratching it on paper will leave a colored ink trail along the page. Try and do this for every single action you take. So I feel like this message has a lot to do with what I was saying about just notice your impact, notice what you want to do, and notice how you can put yourself out there. And I think that that exercise is really beneficial because you're able to notice your impact on things, you know. And I feel like that's a little bit of what's holding you back, is you don't see your worth. You know, you don't see why you're worthy of getting what you want completely, because part of you doesn't really see the impact, the major impact I feel like that you've had on other people in the past, you know, in your past situation. And it's like, get clear on that, and I feel like, you know, the tables will start to turn for you. Things will start to make sense. So I'm going to pull you guys a few more cards from this Rebel Oracle deck. So let's see what other mental health or just, I don't know, life advice we've got for y'all. Let's see. Ooh, hello. So we've got get outside and move your ass. Your body is pissed at you is what the back says. Let's see what else. And what the hell are you waiting for? Get that shit done. Oh my God, what does the back say? If you are waiting for a sign, well, here it fucking is. Oh my God. Group 1, what did I tell you? You guys have actions to take, things to do for yourself to get yourself out of your own way. And like literally both of these cards are about motion and about taking the steps necessary to let your light shine and to be successful, to be that person that you want to be, and to find the people that you want to be that person with specifically. Wow. Group 1, I really, really love this message. I feel like you guys are leveling up and finding your soul tribe, finding the people that really resonate with you in this next coming chapter of your life. So I'm really excited for you guys. But that is all for you guys. If this video resonated, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages. And if you would like a personal or extra pick a card readings from me, check out the link below to my Patreon or Instagram account for that. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in a later video. Peace. Hey group 2, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading all about your current life update, mental health update, basically what's going on from now in the next few months. So we have for your cards, Kenazi, Judge, Jupiter, the Sun, and opposition to get us started. So I feel like right away you guys are going through some type of transformation, maybe with, what you're experiencing in the world around you with this opposition here. I feel like it definitely involves other people, but I feel like the circumstance that you're dealing with right now is helping you expand who you're going to be in this life. And I know that sounds really dramatic, but I mean, so many experiences that we go through on the daily literally do that to us. And with Jupiter and the Sun here, and then even this Kenazi, I just feel like, yeah, I mean, this is illumination. This is also illumination, and this is also illumination. So you guys are coming to terms with some really big things that, like I said, with this opposition here and then all the people energy, you guys are making some really big judgment calls about other people that is helping you get on the right path. I feel like the path that's more meant for you, and maybe, I don't know, not as challenging as it was in the past. Because with the shadow attribute being offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority, this just feels like you've put yourself in positions with people that had maybe a higher authority over you, or just, I don't know, they just didn't give you the kind of credibility you deserved, is what I'm hearing. So with Jupiter here, I feel like I was saying, it's like understanding more of your own essence and your right to be who you are and have your perspective, because whatever reason, I just feel like that's not where you've been coming from. With the Judge here, it's like maybe you're surrounding yourself with people that, are critical of you or may judge you or other people, to the point where you don't know how to really expand yourself and to find, these aha moments that help you move forward, because they're stuck, in their ways, doing the same thing over and over again and just kind of criticizing what other people are doing. And I feel like that is actually kind of been a little bit of a detriment to your health, is what I'm hearing. And it's just kind of showing you maybe some qualities within yourself here too, because this is mirroring energy. So what happens sometimes is we have a negative self-talk. It actually manifests by the people around us almost echoing that voice, or it's kind of a chicken or the egg situation, because maybe you just got yourself around people with that kind of voice and you adapted that inner voice. Regardless of what it was, I feel like you're getting clarity on that at this time, and you're able to really, like I said, have that aha moment that I feel like people were holding you back from. And in this time, with everything happening around the world and the pandemic and stuff, I feel like it's been difficult for people to really hide from themselves and hide from these realizations. And I feel like you weren't necessarily hiding this from yourself, but I do feel like you were trying to justify so you could kind of go along this path with everybody. But I feel like part of the spiritual path, or just your life path in general, will require you to lose people, because you just outgrow people. And that's a judgment call that you can make. It's like a healthy judgment call. It's not this shadow attribute of being critical and just, I don't know, using your authority over other people, even if it's just your perspective. It's very critical energy, but it's not always helpful. But it can be helpful if you use it critically on yourself and how you think and what you're dealing with, basically. So pulling more cards for you, we have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Tower, we have a Death in reverse, and then Mother of Pentacles. Yeesh. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, guys. You guys are getting to the point where you see that certain things aren't going to work for you anymore. And while you are aware that this is probably going to be a painful process, I think there is a part of you that is ready to take that step, because you know that you deserve better. Through this insight, like I said, like this insight is the biggest thing, and this judgment call is the biggest thing that's kind of like coming up for you. And I think a lot of this, this is juggling two opportunities. So I feel like, it's like, do I stay the same or do I move forward, is kind of what I'm getting out of this. But with the Tower here, I feel like, you're going to move forward regardless, because you can't unknow what you know. And that's like the biggest breakthrough for you that I think helps you make these, these calls about what you want to deal with and what you don't want to deal with. Death also talks about like misuse of power and control and authority too. So, and same with the Tower, I would say. So I do feel like there is somebody that may be just really clouding your vision or has clouded your vision for a while, but it's, you know, it's up to you in this point to make the judgment call to kind of get yourself out of that loop of, you know, do I deal with this person? Do I deal with, you know, their criticism, their judgments towards me, or do I choose to move on? Because I feel like there is a choice that you're not really wanting to make, or you're making very slowly. Because with the Death here in reverse and then the Two of Pentacles, this is a very slow movement to me. But I think there's just so many lessons to learn here too. Because Mother of Pentacles also, you know, that slow moving energy, but there's like this slow movement so you can nurture yourself along the way though. Like, I don't think you should get upset at yourself that you're not, you know, making these decisions faster or figuring things out faster, because, you know, you're learning so many little things that are helping you put the big things together, if that makes sense. And these Tower moments and this Death moment, you know, that sounds really foreboding, but it's like, I don't know, you're going to look back and feel the power of those moments more than they might feel like inviting in the present. Something tells me that like the mundanity of these experiences is actually helping you build a better self-talk too, for whatever reason, because this nurturing energy is being built up over a long period of time, and I feel like you have almost, you know, had to do the work for yourself maybe before you got to the place where you could stand up outside of yourself and really be able to judge outside of yourself, because it says balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. So I really feel like you guys, you know, may have been the underdog in a situation for so long, but while you were the underdog, you figured things out or are figuring things out so that you can make judgment calls and kind of level the playing field and get your power back. Because the Death in reverse here shows that you've kind of given your power away to other people. And perhaps maybe you've seen them as the mentor or the guru or somebody that is, you know, going to give you the insight, when in reality, you've been making insights all along. And like I said, you have the power to make really powerful judgment calls, but you just have to understand what decision you're making. And, you know, I feel like for you guys, like I said, you want to make this decision with a certainty, and just feeling really clear about it, and that's okay. But at the same time, I feel like you're also like upset with yourself that it's taking so long, you know, and like you're getting a little antsy that it's not there yet, and that, you know, I don't know, there's like little things that I think are nudging you. Like I said, maybe you know, poking at a relationship or expanding what this relationship means to you might be something that, you know, is part of the slow moving process for you, and it takes you a while to recognize it because you're in this relationship, you're in the state of, you know, doing what it is that you're trying to figure out, and that's kind of hard to separate the two lives and the two you know, opportunities that you have, like I said, to stay the same or to like evolve and level up and to expand who you are and what that means for, you know, the world around you. Because I think that you can be a very helpful guide for a lot of people, but I feel like there's a timidness that you have to really present that. So I feel like right now everything is coming together for you to really sort out where you're coming from and why you know what you know, and how it's actually valid and how it's actually helpful, and how your judgment calls, like I said, are actually very important ones to make. So we're going to pull some more cards though to see what else is going on. So we have teeth falling out and being at school. So this is exactly what I was saying about, you know, having to learn that you are a valuable person, that you're a valuable teacher, that you know, the lessons that you have learned are actually appealing to other people and worth sharing with other people. I feel like, you know, your judgment on things isn't as off as you, I think, perceive it at times. And I feel like that kind of self-doubt really does show here. With the teeth falling out, this suggests, you know, feeling overlooked or maybe neglected, and like you're not, you know, the right choice in learning. It's like you're not the right choice for people to learn from, but I feel like you are. I feel like you really, like I said, have good judgment calls. It's just a matter of applying them with the courage and the confidence really that's required for them to be impactful on other people, and for you to really, I don't know, level the power too, because you've given so much power away in the past. Like I said, you may have seen other people as your mentor, guru, savior, whatever, you know, and given your power away, but this is how you give your power back. These kind of situations that, you know, like I said, give you those aha moments. It's like, do something with that besides just having the moment, you know, share it with other people. I mean, this is the card literally of like the insight or of the illumination of some sort of really important thing, really. And you see here they're hand in hand, so it's like walk this path hand in hand with people that will accept your insights and, you know, grow with you, basically. And, you know, if you have to do that alone at points, that's fine, but I don't think you should also count yourself out either before you even get the chance to really express yourself and make the judgment calls that you need to. So let's see what else we've got going on, though. This is big Find My Tribe energy, I've noticed, for this reading, which is totally the Saturn and Aquarius, or just all the Aquarius energy that we have going on as I'm recording this. So I feel like it is just a really potent time to find your people, and the only way to do that is expressing yourself and, like I said, your judgments sometimes, and know that you're not going to be passed over for whatever reason you've convinced yourself, or others maybe have convinced you in the past by their criticism. Like, people will listen to you if you know, put yourself out there to be listened to. But we have winning, so literally what did I say? You can win this kind of energy over if you put yourself out there and choose to do it. You got a good thing going. Don't ruin that shit. So really, though, you really have a lot of good things coming for you, going on for you currently, but it's a matter of just seeing them as such and finding the empowerment personally from those experiences, because I feel like you can definitely assign your power outside of yourself, and that's kind of a lesson that you're learning right now and kind of seeking your way through, basically. So even if it's not intentional, I feel like that's kind of like a subconscious desire you might have. But let's pull another card. Oop, we have, you are the best thing to ever happen to you. Go easy on your ass, buy your own damn drink. And then they broke your heart. Fuck them. Oh my God, what did I say? I feel like there's somebody, you know, and this may not resonate for everybody. This could just be like, in theory, people in the past, but there may be a specific person we're talking about here that's, you know, this could even be the present, past. I mean, you know, take it as it resonates, but basically it's like you have been around people that really broke your heart, that really judged you and really criticized who you were and what you were capable of, and the kind of, I feel like, wisdom that you had to share it too. They just really, I think they weren't open to it. They didn't want to see it. They weren't empowered by it. So they kind of spread that energy onto you. And you've unknowingly, I think, kind of taken it on. And that's what you're juggling here, is this other person's energy. And that's what I'm saying about, like, stay the same or expand, because I feel like you're realizing now that there is a lesson to learn here about, you know, your own power and what you can do from, you know, your own judgments. I don't know why it just keeps coming back to your own judgment and making your own choices for yourself, because it helps you, I feel like, get even more clarity going forward. But, you know, with everything that's happened here, I just feel like you guys definitely are going to come out of this with a very strong sense of self and just a very clear knowing that you can do the things that you want to do. You can have those conversations with the people you want to have conversations with, and they can go good. You know, just because people hurt you and have criticized you and have just not been cool to you in the past doesn't mean that that's going to be that way in the future. And if anything, if you allow it to be different, that's when it can be different. You know, like I said, there's a lot of personal power that has been kind of left away for a while that you're learning how to embody. And in this time, you know, do what you feel called to do. You know, that's like the first step, because that's a really personal thing. And then, you know, if it means that you have to, like, address certain things or share your wisdom or judgments on certain things to certain people or cut them off, or whatever it is, do it, because that shows that you trust yourself and that you are the best thing to happen to you, because you trust yourself. You know that what you're doing is for you. And, you know, like I said, you're expanding your version of self, because your version of self before, I feel like, wasn't so self-proclaimed. They were doing things that, you know, they felt they had to do, or things to get them to be more appealing. And sometimes that required you to be more docile and to be more, I don't know, passive, and just not be the person that was willing to do the things and strive for the things that they really wanted to. But that's all changing because you're letting it change. And I think, like I said, that aha moment really brings it back together of just being like, okay, I have this realization, I'm going to do something about it. And like I said, you can take your time, and you should take your time getting that realization, because I feel like I said, it takes time for you to get those insights. But, like, when you get them, do something with them, basically, is kind of the message here. But overall, let's pull a little mindfulness thing for advice right now. So this says full sensory awareness exercise. This one you do now, right now. Okay. Wherever you are, just stop and look around when safe to do so. Become aware of everything that your senses pick up. How do you feel? Do you feel overstimulated? Do you feel anxious? Take a moment and appreciate where you are and what is happening, along with how you are actually feeling in this very moment. So I feel like this has a lot to do with kind of awakening to those insights and understanding that those insights, when you are still and when you notice, what is happening around you, you can be the kind of person to get those insights. The person that you seek. Like, for example, you're listening to a tarot reading from me right now. You can do this yourself, though. And that's kind of like the empowerment that these cards are trying to push you towards right now. And that's what I think this whole sensory exercise kind of comes back to, is the idea that you can do things for yourself. You don't need to seek it from other people. And if anything, it benefits you to, seek out information that helps you feel empowered, so you can, individuate yourself and, like I said, have your personal judgments and learn your personal lessons and share the things that you want to share, because I feel like there's a lot more within you to be let out that, it's just waiting for you to allow it out, basically, and for you to share it with the world around you. And the first step to do that is to notice it in the first place. So group 2, I hope this message resonated for you guys, and if it did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more future intuitively channeled messages from me. But if you'd like extra pick a card readings or a personal tarot reading from me, check out the links below to my Patreon or Instagram for that. Otherwise, I'm gonna skedaddle, and I'll see you guys in a later video. Peace. Hey group 3, let's get started with your tarot card reading, all about what's going on with your energy currently, mental health check-in, yada yada. So, diving into your cards, we have Fehu, we have Slave, Pisces, the Moon, and the Ascendant to get us started. So right away, I feel like you guys may be not seeing your position clearly, and maybe not seeing the kind of energy that you're giving away to situations. Specifically, I feel like maybe in a work situation or just something you do frequently, you may be, like I said, just giving your power away and your energy away more than what you're consciously aware of. With the Slave here, the shadow attribute says giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. And then this card being about gratitude and just having, honestly, good things coming to you. A new beginning, a fresh start with a lot of abundance. For whatever reason, to me, this feels like you guys are actually in a really good position, but you don't see it. You feel a little confused and I think drained by this situation. But I feel like that is kind of showing telling things about yourself. And I'm saying that because the Moon, Ascendant, Pisces, this is very much like boundless energy. On the Ascendant is, that's somebody that will serve to the point where they don't understand that they've served, like they give so much of themselves that they're just like, it's part of the job, is like what Pisces energy feels like. And then with the Moon there, I feel like there's some kind of hidden resentment, especially with the Slave, towards how much of that energy you are giving away. Because even if you're doing the job, quote unquote, I feel like just the depth in the way that you're, like emotionally connecting with this job. I keep saying job, take it as it resonates, if it's job or if it's a situation, relationship, just, whatever's going on with you, basically. I just feel like it's really getting in your way of feeling happy and fulfilled right now. And I think a lot of that, like I said, has to do with maybe sacrificing your own individual values, your own, maybe self-care, honestly, like taking care of yourself with the Moon here. When I don't think that's like the method you should really be taking here, because I think your perception might be a little confused. But I just feel like there's something more to be seen here, more about how you're handling yourself and how you're kind of living day to day, because I feel like you may be in more of this shadow attribute of giving yourself away to something completely outside of you and then being upset about that, because you have a right to personal identity. And with the ascendant in Pisces here, I feel like you may be confusing your loyalty to a certain situation as a means to self-sacrifice, when in reality it's not required. Like, that self-sacrifice isn't required, at least to the degree that you're doing it. And there's some boundaries I feel like that need to be learned. But the main thing that's coming up is just learning to be grateful for what you're experiencing currently, and maybe learning to discern where you're coming from versus what you're being met with, because there could be an unfair balance of, give and take that really should be noted. And, it's not just like a personal conflict, but at the same time, it could be a personal conflict that starts this weird tension outside of yourself where you get into imbalanced situations. So I'm a Pisces descendant, so I'm very aware of how that can unfold. But I just feel like you guys, like I said, are just in a position where you are giving your power away and not realizing that you're actually in a really good position for whatever reason. For some of you, I feel like you're putting somebody on a pedestal, or somebody is putting you on a pedestal that is creating this imbalance. Because you see here with this Fehu, you have somebody flexing in the back, but you have somebody in a state of contentment and luxury up front. However, I do feel like you guys might be more of this role where you're in the state of kind of doing so much. There's a lot of indulgence here. So like I said, maybe you're doing too much while this other person is like, hey, look at me, like I can do something too, but like I feel like they're not actually doing it. And like, obviously this is going to be different situations for different people, but like I said, some part of this feels like you're almost taking more of the weight and more of the load here than like what you really need to. Because like I said, you have this person that you're ignoring in the background that's like, I can help you, but like you're not letting me help you. That's kind of funny. Honestly, I really relate to this. We all get into this role sometimes where we just get so devoted to a certain routine, a certain ritual, or just something specific in general. Like I said, that could be a job or just a situation or another person, but we get so enthralled in it that we almost forget that it's a choice. We choose to do every single thing we do. And as much as we try to, say, well, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like, no, all you have to do is eat and sleep and drink water. Like, that's literally it. And if you try to convince yourself of everything else, like, that is a decision whether you know it or not. So I feel like for you guys, this energy is coming back to noticing what kind of energy you have and what you're taking on from your environment. And like I said, just being really aware of the energy exchanges that are going on around you, so you don't get, in this weird state of resentment because you've taken on more than what you should have, if that makes sense. And I'm all about self-accountability here, but at the same time as that may be the case, there could also be, this figure as somebody who is more like, oh, look at me, I can do all the work and stuff, but then they don't offer to help. So there's obviously, like I said, different situations for different people, but I feel like there is somebody that will help you if you ask them for your help. And if you see clearly that there is help available, is what I feel like this overall message is right now. So let's dive into more cards though. We have the 10 of Cups in reverse, Son of Swords, Four of Swords, and then Strength in reverse. Interesting. Yeah, like you don't have to be strong all the time. You don't have to pull all the weight. You can rest. You can take time back for yourself, but you have to ask for it. You have to do the things required to get you what you want. And honestly, I feel like that's been the message for all of my groups today, is put yourself out there. Do the things that you need to do in order to get what you want. As much as we like to manifest things, sometimes you need to change things up to get what you want. To manifest what you want requires you to change your mindset to the version of you that has what you want, if you know what I'm saying. Like, when you envision yourself in the person you are with that thing, I guarantee there's different things that you do, say, think, act like. There's different dimensions to that. And I feel like the more that you allow yourself to play the different roles as you choose, like I said, that is going to be a lot more helpful, I think, for your mental health and just for your overall energy going forward. Because like I said, you have help available to you, and all you have to do is ask, but you can't be afraid to ask. I feel like you have to drop your pride a little bit and just say, hey, I need help, and I can do everything alone, but I don't want to. There you go. That's your way you can do it, where you don't have to drop your pride completely. But like I said, I feel like you're surrendering a little bit of like your happiness by being this person that's so self-sacrificing. And it's difficult at times, I think, to take accountability for how much we're giving to situations and how much it's draining ourselves, because you want to think that you would get, reciprocity or something back from it. But it's just, that's not always like that. And I feel like that's why Pisces energy, and even the moon, honestly, this can be like void like energy and just feeling like you really don't get back what you want. But like I said, if you can see clearly the situation that you have to, I don't know, kind of manipulate the situation a little bit, not in a negative way, but, manipulate it so it works in your favor, change it around so it works in your favor, and ask for help where you need it and ask for advice where you need it, get clarity where you need it. But make your situation good for yourself by taking the actions and basically, asking for the help that you need, like I said. There's an element of disarray here that is just, like I said, clouding you being able to be really grateful for this new beginning I feel like you're currently, going through. So make sure that, like I said, you're finding the clarity when you need it. And the best way to do that is asking somebody to kind of fill in for you so you can rest. Because, like I said, you don't have to do everything yourself, even though you can. It's totally okay to ask for help. And if anything, it's going to be necessary for you to be at your full strength and your full capacity really to help. When you're there. So let's pull a few more cards to clarify what else we got going on for you guys. Some advice, maybe, perhaps. All right, we have drop the fucking ego. Oh my God, vulnerability is hot as fuck. That's funny. What did I just say? Like, literally, if this is an ego thing, for sure. Like, you want to almost be a slave to this situation, and like, I don't know, you probably hear this and you'd be like, I do not want to be a slave to this situation. But like, if you could drop your ego for a second, you might be able to see clearly where you have unknowingly gave your willpower away to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices, and how that version of slave might actually apply to you. Because I say this all the time, guys, if you can take the negative qualities when they are presented to you and just sit with them, just look at them, and maybe try to relate to them, you will be shocked at how you can actually, get the ball rolling for yourself. And, this bad quality actually was the key in the ignition, so to speak. So we have don't force it. Allow that shit to come to you, and then get out of your head. Get in your heart. It misses you. So definitely, like I said, you guys are just, maybe like in this resentful place. That would be more in your head, I feel like, where you're overthinking it. You're just feeling like, oh, I'm not getting back what I'm putting in. Like, every day is a drag, and like I just feel like, I'm doing everything that I can. Like, why isn't this working? But it's like, if you really could feel out the situation, you could feel that your energy isn't with you, and it's not going to come back to you unless you do the work to get it back to you. And I feel like with this don't force it thing, it's like, don't force yourself to do everything and to consume everything and to just be everything. I feel like you guys are people that secretly might want to be number one or on top, but you have to understand that, you have to rest. You have to take care of yourself at the same time that you're doing all this stuff. You can't force yourself to be perfect in everything that you want all the time and everything everybody else wants all the time. Like, that is truly exhausting. And I don't know, you're not being as helpful as you think you are when you're coming from a place that doesn't feel full within themselves. And I feel like what this is saying, drop your ego and realize that if you ask for help and you ask for maybe assistance in whatever matters you're dealing with, to help you figure out, maybe better organize this disarray or this just heavy load that you're dealing with, I feel like that is going to really help you, actually process these feelings that you may have been dealing with for some time. Like I said, just get the help that you need, because you guys really want to rest. I feel that you guys really want to rest, and you're just tired of having to do the same old thing. But, this is where it says make better fucking choices. If you're pissed at where you are, then stop taking yourself there. Exactly. Like, don't put yourself in situations where you're overindulging, whether that's taking on too much work or taking on too much things at home, or just whatever, making too long of a to-do list, whatever weird kink you have that you keep doing too much of, that you know that you don't want to do, make the choice that is needed for you to get out of that position. And like I said, take the opportunities for help that are around you, because they want to help you. They really, truly want to help you. And all you have to do is ask, is what I'm hearing over and over again. So last but not least, I'm going to pull from this mindfulness jar. Oop. So we have mindful immersion. The purpose of this one is to cultivate contentment in the moment and escape the persistent striving we find ourselves caught up in a daily basis. What did I just say? Oh my God, that's weird. Okay, anyways, pick a chore, something you usually just want to get done before moving on to your next task. Rather than treating this as a regular chore, try treating it as a completely new activity. For example, washing up. Notice how the water flows into the sink, how the washing up liquid intertwines with the water, how moving your hands through the water creates bubbles and how they feel on your skin. The idea is to get creative and discover new experiences with a familiar task. This is 100% what I'm talking about, guys, of just being able to re-perceive what you're dealing with, the energy you're dealing with, and what you're doing with your time. Like it said, like if you're doing a task that you normally just want to get out of the way, you know, if you're constantly in a position and putting yourself in the position where that's all you do, that is how you are going to constantly feel, you know? Don't put yourself in those positions if you don't want to be there anymore. That's really the biggest message, I guess, that we're getting out of here is that you have more power than what you may have given yourself. So exercising that power is only going to help you exercise getting more of what you want and feeling more of how you want to. And I don't know, seeing all the things that you really have to be grateful for around you, because I really do see you in this light of somebody that has it all and who just maybe doesn't know how to use it the most effectively, which that's pretty much all of us out here, I can attest. So group 3, I hope this message resonated for you guys. And if it did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages from me. If you want extra pick a card readings from me or personal tarot card readings from me, check out my link below to Patreon or Instagram for that. But I'm going to skedaddle, but I hope to see you guys in a later video. Peace.